So, this one's gonna be about measuring the right thing, because I also think, which is also the reason why I've chosen this book summary this time. It's a book summary, yeah, you've heard it correctly, because I think it is actually something that a lot of people are struggling with, but more like subconsciously rather than consciously. But as always, more after the intro. As every day, because I'm doing this every day. And nobody's listening every day. So, with that being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. And I'm a little pumped, I'm actually a little bit pumped just because this is a book summary and it's just really refreshing, because yesterday I wasn't really into recording. Today it's actually started with kind of the exact same mood. Like I wasn't really into just recording. But now as I'm recording, it's just quite fine, Also because I'm now going through a book summary, which is just something new, just compared to just an article and something like that. But if you do just want to listen to this particular episode, so if you're watching this on YouTube, I really have to point out that you can also listen to this particular episode. This is especially really important for those people that are able to just learn really, really well through audio. Then this is going to be just the best option, Please go down into the description. There's going to be the link to the podcast and where you can listen to the whole experience. I'm also going to edit the audio so that it is a little bit more satisfying or pleasant, whatever. And if you're able to just listen and or learn through auditive things or learn through listening to something, this is just the best option because you're also way more efficient, because you can do something simultaneously, which means, that you could be working out, you could be jogging, you could be walking your dog, you could be just eating something, you could be doing so many things while you're listening to the episode. And also for all the people that are willing to be a little bit more efficient than sitting here for 40 minutes, I really suggest you to go down into the description and check out the podcast, just because I believe, at my point of view, it is just way, 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 way fucking more efficient than sitting here for 40 to 60 minutes, actually 30 to 60 minutes, and just, watching me reading something. But some people also like the video more, therefore the video is also there, which is kind of there's always an upside and downside, and therefore I'm having both things, so that I'm having both upsides. But this is not what the episode's gonna be about. But the episode's rather going to be about, what is it called? John Doerr, or Doerr, whatever. Actually pretty funny because, or not, can I please? There it is. Like that. So, Measure What Matters by John Doerr. And as I said before the intro, I've seen a few book summaries and a few just really kind of look good to me, and this also kind of looked good to me. It wasn't like, okay, I went on the paulminus.com website and just went like, wow, it's the Measure What Matters by John Doerr book, I'm gonna read it. No, it wasn't really that case, it wasn't really like that. It was really like, okay, what should I do today? What should I go through today? And I really felt like going through a book summary because I haven't gone through a book summary in quite some time, or in quite a while. And it feels great going through another book, and it feels great to just have something else, just because I also have to say that often those book summaries contain some information that's truly valuable, especially also for myself, because just a lot of articles are written by amateurs, which is something that's totally not bad. Like, it really is not bad. I do not want to say that articles in general are bad. They're articles, and this is also an article, just saying. But you get what I mean. Like, there's going to be a lot of things that are just going to be there quite often, and therefore I'm just rereading it just 100 times just each day and whatnot. So it's just a little bit refreshing to go through a book. But I've actually decided to go through this book because I've read Measure What Matters. And I really have to say that it might also be something that I'm struggling with, but I really believe that a lot of people struggling with measuring what really matters and or doing what really matters, because often we kind of find ourselves doing something that really does not matter, in very, very, very different areas of life, whether it be school, whether it be work, whether it be just some side projects that you're just having, some things that you just like to work on, your hobby, those things we actually, at least this is something that I've seen and I've experienced, I have seen myself and have found myself doing something that really does not matter. And this is then just only a waste of time and also a waste of energy, the energy that you could use for doing something that really creates change and doing something that really matters and makes sense. So this book will help any organization or team aim high, move fast, and excel. It is a book for managers who want to lead their teams better and scale, as well as for entrepreneurs who seek the right metrics to grow their business. So this is what the book is all about. Introduction. Who is this book for? It's actually the exact same text. About the author. John Doerr is an American investor and venture capitalist at Kleiner Perkins. Actually, Kleiner Perkins founded a portion of Amazon, as we have found out yesterday. Because yesterday, it is actually airing today. Because yesterday I was recording it, but it is publishing today, or I published it today already. And it is about Jeff Bezos and Amazon, because maybe you don't know, but Jeff Bezos is the CEO of Amazon, and he's really fucking rich. Like 160 billion is quite something. And in this episode, I'm talking about why that happened. How he actually was able to become such an incredibly wealthy person. And it wasn't really only about Amazon. Like Amazon, of course, is a really big portion of his wealth, but he's also an investor in Uber, Twitter, so just a ton of other companies. Uber, Twitter, and Google. Yeah, he's also invested in Google, and it is definitely not only his. It's not only Amazon. Even though I have to point out that Amazon is probably going to be the biggest portion of his wealth, or the biggest portion of something that created his wealth. But he's also having a lot of real estate, like really a lot of real estate. But more in the other episode. If you're interested in the other episodes, please check it out. It's a pretty good one. It's quite a good one. He's the author of Measure What Matters, a book about OKRs that led Google and Intel to massive success. For 2019, his net worth increased up to 7.7 billion, being the 215th in the Billionaires 2019 list. He serves on the board of the Obama Foundation and One.org. It's nice. Sounds good. Sounds really good. And I gotta have to say that it truly matters who the person is that wrote the book, because if you truly know that the person that is talking about business, that this person that is talking about leadership, the person that is talking about investing, the person that is talking about XYZ in this book, if this person has never ever done what he or she claimed to have, or whatever, then it's really not a good sign for the book. Then maybe the book is still going to be good, but who knows if the information is going to be true or not, if it's going to be right or not, but it's probably not going to be true or right. It's probably going to be something that he or she just made up just because, he or she hasn't lived it. And it is something that's truly important. And but I guess it just makes sense. So yeah, in the summary, Measure What Matters is about using objectives and key results, which is OKRs, a revolutionary approach to goal setting to make tough choices in business. It's such a fucked up thing to pronounce. Through OKRs, companies can align their teams towards common goals, propelling the company to success. Let's see how this can be achieved. And now we're heading right into the book summary and OKRs. I can't tell you how much it actually pisses me off, but never mind. So organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and also useful. This was Google's initial mission when they started with search. For them to make a real impact, however, they had to try and fail fast, track their progress and measure what mattered. After all, ideas are easy and the execution is everything. Of course, we all had a lot of ideas. Probably somebody also thought about the exact same concept that Uber is having, but they just eventually didn't act on it. They didn't execute on it. And this is just a variable. execution and just taking action and doing something is just the variable to success. Without execution, there's not going to be any success. And it is just really, truly important to point out, if you're having an idea, and if you're having a side hustle, a side business, something like that, you have to act on it. You have to do something. You have to work. There's no way around that. Even though some people might be talking about passive income, they might be talking about just making money by laying on a beach and smoking weed, but it's not going to be the case, at least not in the very beginning. You have to work in the very beginning. Therefore, it's also just crucial that you're working on something that is fun for you and something that you like to work on, because it's truly taking a lot of time. And I know what I'm talking about, because I've been doing the podcast for a year now, which is nothing compared to a lot of people that have actually been doing content or making and producing content for a decade. People have done this for decades, and I have to say, is it tough? Yeah, on some days it's going to be more tough, as it is today, actually, just because I don't know. Yesterday it started with actually me not being really able to talk, and this is something that really pisses me off. It might just be because of certain things. I actually don't know why, which is also kind of a problem for me, just because I can't solve it then. But yeah, on some days it's going to be easier, and on some days it's going to be just truly, truly tough. And this is what it is. We just have to be patient, and we just have to work, and we have to actually put our fucking head into the sand and wait while we're working. So not passively waiting, but patiently waiting is the key, some sort of. But yeah. So that's where John Doerr came in, introducing the OKRs, short for Objectives and Key Results, a collaborative goal-setting protocol for companies, teams, and individuals. OKRs, it just really pisses me off. I can't actually tell you. It truly pisses me off. It's making me angry. OKRs. Because I do not really think that it is OKRs. It's OKRS. And the S is small, everything is big, which means it's okay. The OKRs. Who cares about the OKRs? Ensure the OKRs ensure that the company focuses its efforts on the same important issue throughout the organization. An objective is simply what is to be achieved. So an objective is simply what is to be achieved. Objectives are significant, concrete, action-oriented, and ideally inspirational. Key results benchmark and monitor how we get to the objective. Effective KRs, KRs are specific and time-bound, aggressive yet realistic. Most of all, they are measurable and verifiable. It's not a key result unless it has a number. In other words, you either meet a key result's requirements or you don't. There is no gray area. Yeah, it's totally the case. Either you're having just a goal or you're not having a goal, but there is nothing it's binary, and I really have to point out this time, just because I often talk about binary things and things that are not binary and all those things. There are not a lot of things in life that are binary. This is one of the kind of one of the few things that is actually binary, as well as pregnancy. You're either pregnant or you're not, but there's nothing really in between. But just a really, really, really lot of other areas of life, there's going to be some gray tones, and there's going to be a gray scale, There's just going to be facets of life, Life is really not binary. As you just take it as a whole, as you take it as a macro thing, it is really not binary. There's a lot of things, and there's a lot of variables and factors and things that play into life, which is great, which really is great, because I don't know, just having a binary life, maybe just it's either really good, it's either really shitty, and or those things, it's not going to be something nice, it's not going to be something good, at least in my point of view. I don't know how you're feeling about this, but I actually feel like that you're also thinking about this in this way. Objectives are the stuff of inspiration, far horizons. Key results are more earthbound and metric driven. They typically include hard numbers for one and or more cautious, Revenue, growth, active users, quality, safety, market share, and customer engagement would be examples. An effective OKR system links goals to a team's broader mission, lending purpose, alignment, clarity, and job satisfaction to the entire organization. As for Google, Eric Schmidt credits OKRs with changing the course of the company forever. And Eric Schmidt, I think he has been the CEO or somehow like a board member or the chairman even. I don't know. Like he's truly a leader as well. He's a significant leader, but it's also just pretty valuable to see that he also credits the OKRs to be something incredibly important for such a big company. Here's a few key lessons about OKRs. Less is more. A limit of 3 or 5 OKRs per cycle leads companies, teams, and individuals to choose what matters most, which is the first point. The second point is set goals from the bottom up. To promote engagement, teams and individuals should be encouraged to create half of their own OKRs in consultation with managers. Stay flexible, which is the third point. If an objective no longer seems practical or relevant as written, key results can be modified or even discarded mid-cycle. Because this is truly important, because I don't know, but I kind of feel like that this is actually something that a lot of companies are going for. That it actually does not really make a lot of sense what they're doing, but they have always been doing that. They have been doing this in the past, and therefore they think they should be doing it just now as well. I'm more talking about companies that might be a little bit older, that are doing things that, let's say, smart companies did like 10, 20, 30, maybe even 50 years ago. For example, TV ads. I don't know, of course, I'm not gonna just rant about TV ads, because there is definitely just a bunch of people that are still watching TV. I don't know how it is in the US and or just in general in English-speaking countries, but in my country, it's like, let's actually see. Maybe I can find a study. Would also actually be pretty interesting. TV watching. And I have to take a shit. TV watching study. Will I find television viewing and cognitive decline in older age? I don't know if this is actually something that I'm looking for. Does TV affect your memory? Does TV affect your brain? The funny thing is, something that you might have seen as well. Like, in this day and age where we all have been watching TV, where TV was actually one of the things, and everyone was watching TV, and it was such a cool thing, and whatever, they all were talking about it, and they all were talking shit about it. Like, you're getting just really worse eyes if you're watching TV all day long. It's going to affect your brain, it's going to affect your memory, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, it's going to just make you feel bad just because something. They have been talking about it, and they have been ranting about it, and they have been talking shit about it, which is the exact same thing that they're doing now with smartphones, with the internet, with quite everything. And it's the next thing that's going to be after the internet is going to be the exact same thing with that. It's going to have the same, it's actually some sort of a cycle. It might just be because, I don't know, it's scarcity. And scarcity is actually a pretty good sales driver, and it's actually a pretty good thing, even though, like, why did they rant about TV? Like, in terms of some economical thinking, it doesn't make any sense, because if you tell people that watching TV is shit, then they're not going to watch TV, unless you're actually kind of a not really a good source for information, then people don't care. But like, if there are studies, and the thing is, of course, it makes sense, but I don't know. I don't really know if books are that good for your eyes as well, because I kind of feel like it's not the case, I really feel like that it's actually the case that books really are not good for your eyes, because, I've seen it, when I've been reading a lot, just like when I was a little younger, and also like a year ago I was reading quite a lot. I've also noticed that it is probably not going to be the best thing for my eyes, just over the long term. I don't know how you're feeling about this. Would actually be nice to hear. So just, you can hit me up on social media. You could be doing so many things. But yeah, like, it's really interesting. Like they're all talking about it, they're all writing about it, and for what? Like, of course, it is good to hear that this is doing that and whatever, but yeah, like I'm seeing right there, watching 3.5 hours of TV a day increases risk of dementia. Like, yeah, I don't know. It is not really healthy to watch a lot of TV because it actually involves sitting around all day fucking long, which is definitely not healthy. But yeah, enough with the rant. I couldn't find such a thing, but yeah. But the whole point of what I was willing to say is that it definitely makes sense to change up things. Only because you've been doing it for just decades doesn't mean that you should be going on with doing that. Doesn't actually make any sense. It could actually be worsen your whole fucking situation just because you're not looking into the future, you're not actually seeing the present. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to do something with the future, but if you're not able to see the present, you're fucking fucked. If you're not seeing the present, and the present is all about, not really about TVs, it's about smartphones, it's about the internet, it's about those things, because culture changes. And it will change, in the future as well. But I don't know. Like, a lot of companies are not seeing how it is right now, and I don't know. Like, often I really kind of feel like that companies are not really using social media as they should. At least the thing is, I'm not really getting a lot of advertising from really big corporations like, let's say, Coca-Cola or Pepsi as well, not that much. Maybe I'm also not the target audience. This might also be one of the factors, but I am really not getting a lot of advertising, especially on Instagram and on Twitter and on those things. And when I'm getting something, then it's most often something that I'm really not looking forward to. And I kind of then feel like, well, do they really know what they should be doing? I don't know. I don't know if they know. But for example, today I've actually seen a BMW advertisement on Twitter, and it's just been like, okay, here's the new 3, so BMW 3, like the 3 series, you know what I mean? And this is what it is, and it's there now. And that's quite it. And this is not really valuable to me. It's not really good advertising for me and to me, just because maybe as I said, maybe I'm not the target audience. Maybe this is not something that I should see. But the thing is, then I shouldn't also see it. When I'm not the target audience, I shouldn't also see it. But yeah, it was not just the best advertisement that I've seen up to this point. Dare to fail. While certain operational objectives must be met in full, aspirational OKRs should be uncomfortable and possibly unattainable to push organizations to new weights. And the last one is be patient, be resolute. A word that I do not know, but never mind. Every process requires trial and error. An organization may need up to 4 or 5 quarterly cycles to fully embrace the system, and even more than that to build major goal muscle. So here is an example of OCR or OKR from Zoom Pizza, like ZUME Pizza. Objective: delight customers. So the objective is delighting the customer. The key results: Net Promoter Score of 4.2 or better, order rating of 4.6 out of 5.0 or better, and 75% of customers prefer Zoom to a competitor in blind taste test. So what I'm seeing right there, I do just have to scroll a little bit to just see and have, it's fine. It's fine. So their objectives were, it's a little bit like, I do assume that in the book, the whole study was a little bit like more clear, because in this setting, it's not really that clear, but I'm going to read it once again. Objective is delight the customers, and the key results are a Net Promoter Score of 42 or better, order rating of 4.6 or out of 5.0 or better, and the last one is 75% of customer prefer Zoom to competitor in blind taste test. So this is I do not know if these are the results they say they are the results, but I don't know. as I said, it might not be in the book, it might be way better. And this is kind of the problem with book summaries, that it is a summary and you're not getting the full experience and you're not getting the full one. Therefore, saying that the book is just not good just because of the book summary or just because of a book summary that you've read just somewhere on the internet might not also be just really okay and nice in terms of just the book. But yeah. So this is actually kind of the first chapter here, and the next time, which is going to be either I'm going to record it today, but I'm not quite sure, or I'm going to record it tomorrow, but it's going to be published tomorrow. But this episode is for today. It's for the 24th of October 2019, and it's been quite a good episode. I still don't know why I'm so just not really looking forward to and happy while I'm recording the episode. I don't know. Maybe I do just have to change up some things. Maybe I do just have to talk more about things that are in my mind. Maybe this is just what I have to do, but I'm not quite sure. I have to figure it out. But I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. So therefore, please subscribe to the podcast, and also please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see more of what I'm doing. If you're not willing to see more of what I'm doing, then please also don't subscribe, because then why would you? I'm happy to say no to that just because there's kind of no reason for you. I want to serve those people that want to see my shit. And if you do not want to see my shit, then that's totally fine as well. There's a lot of shit out there. There's a lot of other people that are producing something that might just be better for you than my stuff. Because my stuff definitely is for a certain group of people. But yeah, I wish you the best health of happiness and also success, and I also hope that you're going to remind yourself when you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, because we can just be nice and then being remembered as a nice person. But the thing is, we are 7.7 billion people on this planet, which means that not everyone's going to like you and not everyone's going to love you as well. But 3 other questions that I hope that you're going to ask yourself are: why are you here, what are you trying to change, and what is bothering you the most? And those 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, since the last question just, really is describing what a lot of companies did do. They were solving something, or they had a solution for something, or produced a solution for something that really bothered them and really pissed them off. Therefore, you might also find a new business idea through asking yourself those 3 questions. So, why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is pissing you off the most? And yeah, because if there's something that really pisses you off, and also other people, which is just potentially going to be the thing or the case, then yeah, solve it, or try to solve it, or I see you the next time. I at least hope.